Okay, everyone, we're going to move forward with our first Zoom virtual corrections committee meeting for 2021. I'm going to let everybody know we're probably going to meet tomorrow and then probably on Tuesday as well. We got some bills that are double referred that I think we're probably going to need to take up tomorrow after Judd B meets. Judd A and Judd B meet. Whenever that happens, we'll look and see where we are. And also, I got a couple that I think I got to work on a little bit to do for Tuesday. We're going to take up 7 measures today for committee consideration. I think everybody has an agenda. I will announce that we're going to be putting the agenda out as quickly as possible on the morning of any committee meeting, somewhere around 8 o'clock. If there's a bill in committee that any member has an interest in, wants to discuss with me, please come see me. Or if there's a combination of bills you think there's some good work in, want to discuss with me that we can put in some other legislation, come see me and we'll do that if we can, if it works with policy. I'm going to take up the first bill will be House Bill 464. This brings forward a bunch of code sections on the parole board, but it does have some substantive changes pertaining to notification of when an individual will be released, not a parole hearing, but after they're either being paroled or they're getting discharged from MDOC or being placed on some type of release program. The current law says you get this 15-day notice. MDOC has requested that we put in the law that it's up to 15 days because a lot of times they have, they will notice someone in 5 to 10 days, the victim's family or the judges or the DAs, that notice is done. And then they have to wait the balance of the 15 days before they can actually take action. They're asking that that language be changed up to 15 days. And also there's language in there in this bill in 464 that authorizes a per diem for parole board members. Some of y'all may have noticed that the one parole board member was notified by audit department regarding vouchers, pay vouchers for travel. And it's been customarily done over the last probably 30 years. They said there's no statutory authority to reimburse board members for traveling on the per diem. And what this does is authorizes a per diem. Otherwise, if we don't do this, we're not going to have parole members from all over the state, which we need from different areas. And I think it's important that cross-section of the community be represented on the parole board. That's what 464 does. And I open the floor for any discussion, any questions. I don't see anybody with any questions. Motion is title sufficient. Do you pass? And I don't think that's a committee sub. No. It is not. Okay. That's the motion. I will do much like Chairman Bain did on the Judd B. I'll recognize opposition to passage or motion. So any opposition to the motion, title sufficient, do pass. I see none. Said motion to table. Gentleman from Activity Hall. Motion to reconsider. And I'll do the motion to table. All right. That's moved along. I'm going to announce as 525, the omnibus bill, the committee sub. What I did was I've been in conversations with the Senate side, not only correction Chairman Barnett, but other members of the Senate and also members of the House. I have basically, through the committee sub, just brought forward all the code sections that would be similar, that would encompass those that were in 2123, our 1157, and 1187 from last year. In addition to those code sections, in this bill would be some of the forfeiture code sections and the pretrial diversion code sections. The reason those code sections are in is because I think we're going to have to at least look at some funding mechanisms under the current pretrial diversion and also statutory, forfeiture provisions for some reentry programming and diversion to try to keep some money in the system to allow for some reentry programming that hopefully we're going to get done that the Senate will agree on. So that's basically what it does, has a reverse repealer in it, and basically bringing all those code sections forward and no statutory change other than bringing those code sections. So I have a motion, title sufficient to do pass, committee sub. All against? Are there any questions, first of all, about that? I don't see any questions. I don't hear anybody voicing any need for a question. The motion is title sufficient, do pass, committee sub. All against? I see none against. I see a motion to reconsider, ladies from Hines, and motion to table by the gentleman from Oktibbeha. Now, the next bill is 557. It's a non-adjudication code section. What this bill does is a couple of things. It authorizes, well, really only one thing. It authorizes a judge to put in a condition of non-adjudication. In addition to the other conditions, it authorizes him to order an offender to be placed in the workforce training as a condition of non-adjudication. That allows the judge to, prior to the time the individual comes back to court, to consider his adjudication of guilt, whether or not he has complied with all the conditions of non-adjudication, including workforce training at a community college or other type of workforce training as the court may order. I'll let the members know that we've got a couple of community colleges, junior colleges have been authorized to award Pell Grants to those individuals that may be within the criminal justice system for community college credit hours. And this is going to allow part of that money through the Pell Grant programming to be used to some workforce training. So that is the purpose of the legislation and the changes to the non-adjudication statute in 557. Any questions on that legislation? It's going to need a little work, probably through the process. I've talked to Chairman Barnett about it, and they had some questions. But right now, we're going to pass it on, let them look at it, and see where we are with the committee's consent. Any questions? There's a motion titled sufficient do pass. All in favor? I see no opposition. Is there a motion to reconsider? I see the gentleman from Oktibbeha. And I see the motion to table that lady from Hines. All right. All in favor? I see that that passes through. I mean, any opposed? All right. The next one is the work release program. This comes primarily from members in the Rankin County area. However, it's a piece of legislation that will be used throughout the state. It authorizes the court to allow on those individuals that are convicted in court to for the sheriff to establish a work release program. And it lays out what can be done, allows these individuals to go out and work, and it lays out how the funds will be used through the process. Did I have an amendment? I had an amendment on this one. Yeah. I don't know what to do with it. I got it. Anyway, what it does is allows process for pay restitution, court costs and fines on the money that they earn, and for assessments in the program. Hopefully, I have a motion to put a reverse repealer in this. There's some language I want to add. I caught this morning that needs to be put in here, but hopefully Sheriff's Association will get on board on this bill, as well as police chief and other organizations allow us to maintain certain number of inmates within the county jails that can go out and work and do things that will help them pay off the court costs and their fines, things of that nature, and also get some type of work as opposed to just going to Parchman. Some of them will be under the jurisdiction of the court for a period of time to get this work program and get their stuff paid off. But first of all, the amendment to put a reverse repealer. And anybody opposed to the amendment? I see no one opposed. Everybody, okay, that amendment will go in. Now I have a motion for title sufficient, do pass as amended. I see no opposition. Is there a motion to reconsider? Gentleman from Octavia Hall, motion to table that. Lady from Madison. Thank you, lady from Madison. All in favor? All right, that will be moving on to the floor for floor consideration. 928 is the code sections that we passed 1176 last year. That changed some things within the commissioner's office. There are some things I've met with the commissioner and his staff, some things that we're going to need to put in. I haven't gotten a response from the Senate on my changes. So what we've done is brought the code sections forward through committee sub. It has a reverse repealer in it. Any questions on that? There are going to be some changes in that. I will be getting with the members before this thing hits the floor and floor consideration, and we'll talk about some of that. I think they're going to send some over from the Senate as well. Commissioners asked for a good many changes. Anyway, the motion is title sufficient, committee sub. Any opposed? I see none. There's a motion to reconsider. Gentleman from Octavia Hall. The motion to table that is the lady from Hines. Thank you, lady from Hines. All right, all in favor of the legislation? We'll move forward on that. Okay, the last bill we have is hospice care bill. I'm not really sure that, 929 is the reentry codes, reentry for offenders. What this does is bring forward certain code sections, prison industry code section, which we're going to be looking at some expanding their authority to do post conviction and post-release reentry with the prison industries. They've shown to me that they're doing good work through prison industries, and also giving some other reentry programming of offenders through MDOC. What this sub does, committee sub puts a reverse repealer in that as well. And again, this is some things that we're going to have to work on with the Senate to get some of their language. And I don't feel like we needed to put any of our stuff in there right now until I get Chairman Barnett's information, what I think he's going to agree to on the Senate side. So the motion is the title sufficient, do pass, committee sub. All against? I see no opposition. Gentleman from Harrison has the motion to reconsider. Motion to table by the gentleman from Octavia Hall. All in favor? I see no opposition. All right, the last bill is House Bill number 1174. This is a piece of legislation. I'm not so sure that we need this, but I've had legal opinions on both sides of this, whether or not we need authorization for MDOC to open up a hospice care on ground at MDOC. The commissioner and I have met a couple of times about this. I think it's a good idea. They want to take a stab at it. They think they can save some money. for the state of Mississippi if they can have on-site hospice. And I think we need to give them opportunity to do that. We will have some other legislation coming over from the Senate that talks about assisted living. It's going to probably be a double referred Medicaid corrections bill off of MDOC, off campus, but this is on campus hospice care. And what this is, lady from Lincoln's bill, Representative Curry, and she'll be handling it on the floor. But right now, I've got a motion to, motion title sufficient do pass. All against? I see no opposition. See a motion to table. Motion reconsidered by the gentleman from Octavia Hall. Gentleman from Harrison has the motion to table that motion to reconsider. All right, that's it, I believe. All we have right now, again, we will meet after we get some double referred bills and a couple of more that I'm gonna maybe bring up whenever we get the double referreds, and have a meeting with corrections chairman at 1:15 and the governor's office at 2:30 to discuss the omnibus corrections bill. And hopefully we're gonna have some language that we can live with. I will tell everyone that we do have some language. I think we have the regional language in one of these bills. It's open, so we're going to be looking at some stuff on regionals, part of that reentry programming. All righty. I got a motion to rise and report. Thank y'all very much.